Welcome back, everybody. Welcome into It's the Law. Attorney Jay Davis is here, our legal analyst from James W. Davis and Associates. Let's get right into it, Jay. There is a case with the Supreme Court right now that they're hearing. A baker in Colorado is asked by a gay couple who's about to get married if he would cook them a wedding cake, and he refuses. And that case has made it all the way to the Supreme Court. What are the arguments here?
Well, they're just exploding everywhere you look. First of all, it wasn't legal at the time in Colorado. So the gay wedding wasn't even legal in the state where the guy was refusing to do it. So now that the Supreme Court is going to say, it has said that gay marriage is legal and they have a right to that, does that create the new right or the new obligation on a baker to have to bake for them? So you're going to have to look at the structure of who's violating who. So you have a religious right, which is constitutional right, which is given normally a strict scrutiny. It takes a lot to prove that you lose your religious right. Typically, sexual orientation is at a heightened scrutiny, but not as high as strict scrutiny. So when you're looking just at the scrutiny levels on which way the court should give emphasis, the religious should have a little bit of a prevailing terms. But once you go into that comparison, you have to look at all the surrounding circumstances. It's the same thing we had in Roe versus Wade. There was no right to abortion prior to that. Then they look at this penumbrum, they called it, of different rights to give freedom and what they meant. And by the time they massaged it all together, they had a new right, an automatic woman's right to have an abortion or right of some control over her body. It was a Wade right against the fetus. It was never that the fetus didn't have a right. It was a Wade right. So here you're going to weigh the right of the couple to be treated normally and go in and shop and buy things and engage in commerce like any other person against somebody who has a religious belief that's contrary to that.
Yeah, and you've already touched on it, but this is a major issue. Why is this? There's so many slippery slopes collected. We've got about 30 seconds, but what are some of those slippery slopes?
The court's going to have to decide something. This is the test case, and it's a cake.
This is it, yeah.
It's a cake. There's 1,000 things that can make this worse or better. So, you know, if this was somebody trying to buy a house, for example, and you have a realtor that's going to steer them some other way, like used to happen with the 60s and the 70s with people of color, and they take them out of a different neighborhood. Those types of things are almost certainly going to be problematic.
Yeah.
Somebody who's engaging in an art form and choosing to do their own thing, which they're trying to get this cake decoration into that category. If you're getting into that art form thing where it's your style coming through, that you're putting on a brand on something, then you have more control of that as well.
Okay, let's talk to Cecilia real quick. We've got to run, Jay. Appreciate you coming on. We'll talk about this more next week. Cecilia, real quick, some weather.